Okay, 31st October, Sunday morning, it's 10 o'clock. Today's topic is life. What is life? How would you define life? What is the meaning of life? Is it the same for everyone? Is it different? Everybody is living a life, but they don't really know what they are living, what they are living for, what do they actually want from life. What is the meaning of life, Yani? Okay, I may need to divide this into two series, part 1 and part 2, because it's quite a long and difficult subject to explain. It's quite a lengthy subject to describe actually. I've done it. I've done some research, and I've got my own experience, so I'm going to describe that. Shinde, life is basically a time that we spend on earth. In this time, 70, 80 years of time, we do all sorts of things to experience life. We call it life. Shinde, there is life in animals, there is life in humans, there is life in plants, but the supreme life is human because they can think. That's how we are different from animals and plants. Otherwise, there is life in plants also. There is life in animals also. Actually, animals also think a little, but they don't have the intellectual thinking, philosophical thinking. Life has got many different meanings for many different people. For example, if you ask me, it's just whatever comes, I'm going to accomplish. It's accomplishment for me, whatever task. If I have the capability, I will try to do it. I will try to understand and I will finish it. It's accomplishment. For some, it's rights versus responsibilities. For example, my right is your responsibility and your right is my responsibility. For example, I'm working in a company. It's my duty to be there on time and do the job. It's not my right. It's my responsibility, which is their right, the company's right, the employer's right. And when they pay me, that is my right, which is their responsibility. So the work I'm doing, the duty I'm doing is my responsibility, which is the employer's right. And the payment I get, which the company makes, is my right, which is their responsibility to pay me. This is how it works. So basically, for some, life is rights and responsibilities. For some, it's recognition. Recognition is, how can we say recognition? I am a doctor, I want to be the best doctor. Not only I want to be the best doctor, but I also want to be recognized as a doctor. Because recognition is basically the mark, the makam, what I mean, how can we say in English? The status that I have in the society, the position that I have in the society, doctor, lawyer, teacher, gardener, whatever. That's my status in the society. That's how people know me. I'm being recognized as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a teacher, as a painter, as a musician. This is what we call recognition. Some, it's time pass. Like I said, whatever comes, I'm going to accomplish. And I'm just, time pass can also be like they don't take nothing seriously. They're just passing the time. They have that's 50, 60 years of lifespan. They don't have specific plan. They just pass it. Time pass. Some want to be a research and explorer, like philosophers or scientists or religious scholars. They are thinkers. They are always in search of something more and more and more. I call them explorers or discoverers. Some are submitters. We call them submitters because they submit themselves. For example, many different religions have their own practices and they find life according to their own religious practices. So they submit to Islam, whatever religion they have, they submit to that. According to them, life is that. For example, in the Muslim religion, life is whatever you live here, you're accountable in the next. Actually, it's also in Christian and Jewish religion also. There's an accountability. There is the final day where you're going to be, you're answerable to God. So whatever they're doing it in this world, it should be moral and ethical according to that. They're answerable to God in the next world. So they're going to be questioned. So there for them, it's all accountability. They submit. Rat race is just routine. I go to school, I finish university, I'm going to get a job, I get married, I produce children, I get old and I die. That's it, right? Everybody, almost everybody in the world is doing that. They're just following a pattern, they're just following a routine. When they grow up, they find anything interesting in the university, they finish university, they do a job or business, or they migrate to another country, they get married, and then they produce children and they get old and finish. That's it, that's their life. Whatever comes in the way, they try to accomplish it as much as they can. Spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is for people who are more focused on the inside, yani spirit, the soul, not the outside. So there is yoga, meditation, music, religious practices. These are different ways they want to grow their spirit. They are more involved in spiritual growth. Now, for that, there should be another video. What is spirit? What is the texture? What is the age? What is spiritual growth? What is emotional maturity? These things, because they are related to the heart. I have 3 more minutes. Oh God, I have to be quick. For some, life is about fight and war. Everything is a war for them. Tamam? It's like a challenge. They take challenge and they try to accomplish it. For some, it's like an exam, a test. Again, it's a bit more religious. In good also I'm being tested, and in bad also I'm being tested. So test is that you need to be really stable and sensible, and don't lose your don't use the cool if something bad happens to you, and don't be arrogant if something good happens to you. Don't be boastful. So basically, life is a combination of body and soul. We can achieve a lot by just by body, but if you use the soul with the body, then you will enjoy. For example, when you try to study something, when you try to finish a university, if you're just doing it for the sake of it, you might not be very much interested. But if you have the soul, the spirit of it, you will have the understanding. You will enjoy. You will learn. Similarly, if you're trying to do a job in a banking sector, but you don't really enjoy, you might accomplish being a banker. But unless you have an interest in the banking sector, you bring the spirit into it, then you will enjoy. For example, you start giving exams and you start growing in this. Oh my God, I have to finish it. Let me just show you. There is another part 2 is going to come. Life. Yeah, oof. I have to shut this. Recognition, time pass, research, what's that? I don't know. Rat race, spiritual growth. Oh my God, I have to finish. Tamam, in the next part.